And finally, let's look at an example of our material variances. Again, we want to find out what is the material cost that should have been incurred, or those standard costs, and then we'll compare that to our actual and we'll break it apart to find the material price variance and the material quantity variance. So first, let's figure out what they should have been paying. Now, I want to warn you, when you look into the material variances, that we want to make sure we're focusing on the material and not the number of units. They give you those number of units so that you can figure out how much material should have been used. So let's start there. We start with the number of units that they produced. Then I'm going to multiply that by the standards. So I look for that standard cost information, and it tells me that I should be using 1.5 feet of material per product. So I can multiply that out, and it'll tell me that my standard quantity should be 470 or 675. I'm going to multiply that by my standard price to figure out how much I should have paid. My standard price here is $4. So I should have paid $2,700 for this material. I can compare that to my actual cost to figure out then what is my total variance. For my actual cost, I have to do a little math here. They don't give it to me like they did in the labor problem. I purchased and used 720 feet of material, and it tells me that I purchased it for $3 per foot. Therefore, the total price that I paid was $2,160, giving me a total difference of $540. I actually paid less than I should have, so that would be a favorable outcome. But let's figure out where those differences are coming from. So I'm going to break that total variance apart to find my material price variance and my material quantity variance. Remember, for price, I'm comparing prices, so I take actual price minus my standard price, and I'm going to compare that and multiply it by my actual quantity. Now I have all of this information that's given to me. My actual quantity I used up here, that's 720. My actual price, $3. My standard price, $4. So my difference is 720. I paid less than I should have, so that is a favorable difference. And finally, we look at that material quantity variance. That material quantity variance, I compare quantities, and I'm going to multiply that by my standard price to give me a variance. My standard price was $4. My actual quantity was 720. My standard quantity, we figured out up here, was 675. You want to make sure that the numbers that you're comparing are actually comparable. $3, $4. So it wouldn't be that you're comparing $2,700 and $4. So make sure that those numbers are comparable. Here, we multiply this out to give us a total variance of 180. Now, I actually used more feet of material than I should, so that would be unfavorable to give us that total variance that will equal our total material variance. So you can see how we can break it down, figure out where we're doing a good job and where we could improve.